Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we have a pretty highly anticipated match between AdmiralPrice and Papercut Assassin. AdmiralPrice is a very well-known player. A lot of people have been wondering how he would do in this tournament, so we're about to find out in winners round 1. He's chosen the map first. He chose Alpine Ridge, which is an interesting choice. Haven't seen this one yet. It's a pretty flat map. It has the huge defining characteristic of this hill right in the middle of the map, along with one building, the workshop. Not a whole lot of trees, a little bit of crabbing opportunities with the ones on the west side, but also the rivers everywhere kind of make it a little different, a little hard to micro cavalry occasionally. But AdmiralPrice is already just moving out and putting units all over the place. He's got a couple bow cavalry, but he has that signature 3. Actually, he has the maximum 3 bow cavalry going against the 1 of Papercut Assassin. Might just charge right in here and just try and clean him up. Actually, a pretty good move. But the AdmiralPrice always brings huge cavalry components. In fact, I would say that most of his armies end up being cavalry corps, because other than that, his army is very eclectic. He only has 3 katanas, a couple of Naginata monks, and some matchlocks, so I'd definitely say he usually brings a cavalry corps. We're looking at Papercut Assassin. He has a decent amount of cavalry as well, but mostly light cavalry with two great guards, a Yari, 2 light cavalry, a bow cav, so both sides have quite a bit of cavalry, though Papercut Assassin has a bigger katana fielding here. Oh, Nodachis as well. 2 Nodachis and 3 katanas. Some Yaris in the front with some matchlocks and bow monks. No Naginata monks though. AdmiralPrice has 2 guarding his matchlocks, so we'll see how those come into play. The ridge is making a nice little obstacle here in the middle to any kind of bow attack, but he's just going right at him with the light cavalry, trying to get the bow cavalry. Unfortunately, sending both of them into just 1 bow cavalry means AdmiralPrice at most is only going to lose 1 bow cavalry, and he's going to have 2 left do their damage, because the cavalry's coming into pincer. These are a great guard and a light cavalry. It's actually going to go right into the Yari Ashigaru as well, so kind of a waste of a light cavalry there. Light cavalry's great for chasing off bow cavalry, but if you're only going to at most take out 1 and you allow 2 left, it's a waste of Koku there, I think, and he's going to lose his light cavalry very early. But whoa, I can't believe I totally missed this. What did a great guard just got routed, and this light cavalry is hurt a little bit, but mostly fine. Didn't do a whole lot of damage. Killed about 20 Ashigaru, a few katanas. Other than that, didn't do very much damage. I guess he got some of the ranged units, but they're still mostly fine. So losing a great guard, it's a huge Koku investment to be losing so early. Light cavalry trying to move up, but against great guards in the water, he's not going to get a good charge. So would be a waste there to engage. Wisely pulls back. Yari cavalry here is stalking around the outside. The matchlocks are moving up to capture the production building, getting his matchlocks up here. They don't have a good line of fire with the building right in the way, obviously, but if the cavalry maybe makes a bad move, he could catch him on a micro mistake and blast him with a broadside from his matchlocks there and get hit by the bow monks too. Going to those Naginata monks, not good to be losing those Naginata monks early. He's going to need a strong infantry component here. All Papercut Assassin has to do, I think, is block AdmiralPrice's cavalry from doing too much damage. Actually, it's a bow cavalry shooting into him. I'm really dumb. But I think he definitely has infantry advantage. I mean, especially those Nodachis get a huge charge off. He could almost obliterate AdmiralPrice's entire melee line in 1 charge. And then he'll still have 3 Katana Samurai and whatever's left of his Nodachis to help clean up. So I think using his cavalry in a defensive role would actually be a really good way to use them. Especially because he has a decent amount of Yari Ashigaru. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them. Can make a nice little spear wall. He could win the infantry battle potentially with just his infantry. So I think he's being kind of safe here, and I think it's a wise move to keep his cavalry in reserve at least right now, and don't go throwing them away so early, though it will allow AdmiralPrice to get the workshop, which could end up being a problem. Those bow cavalry are going to be a problem too. They're going to be able to tear into Papercut Assassin's army, but the bow monks are pretty much the best counter to bow cavalry, having the longer range than bow cavalry. They can keep them at bay at least, and keep them not doing very much damage. Should maybe be thinking about loose formation too. Oh, they're getting way too far out. The cavalry's going to be able to take advantage of this, even with that Yari. Oh, and there's a matchlock covering though. He's in a very tight formation though, so not good for the matchlocks. They're not spread out, not be able to get their full effectiveness, but maybe they'll do something here. A great guard. Ooh, might not be wanting to throw a great guard into a matchlock, but it looks like he might get away with it. Only lost 9 men. Got a nice charge into the bow monks. I think AdmiralPrice is going to get away with this. Maybe shouldn't have, but he will. Did not capture the workshop. It's still uncaptured. We're going to see if someone will end up getting it. Light cavalry here is going to get caught by the Great Guard and routed almost instantly. No way they're standing up to Great Guard in melee combat. As we're looking around here, let's just take a look at the bows. This bow warrior monk is totally fine at 75. This one's only down to 35 though, so he did do some damage, maybe trying to keep his bow cavalry safe to try and push that skirmishing advantage. Well, this one's hurt at 34 men, so This one's at 44. This one's only at 13, so he has done quite a bit of damage there with the bow cavalry, but the Yari Ashigaru is gonna get caught. The bow monks, I mean, not the Ashigaru. The bow monks are gonna get caught totally alone. The Ashigaru is totally out of position, and it's gonna be able to clean this bow monk off the field, or at least make it useless. There's only 15 men left in the army. Naginata monks are trying to hit these Yari Ashigaru, which is an okay idea with that war cry and being far from the general. The Yari Ashigaru should rout, but no, he's actually turning his attention towards the Katana Samurai, who are pulling back to the main line. Bow cavalry going into the Matchlock Samurai, it looks like, and that would be a good use of a bow cavalry, especially with only 16 men. Just tie him down and do damage with a charge. That's really all you need to do. The Yari Ashigaru are spear wall, so Naginata monks will have a tough time in breaking through it, but they will eventually. Especially with that war cry. They're already down in red morale due to losing men, down to about half strength and far away from the general. Papercut Assassin just staying nice and tight here, trying to not make any big mistakes, which I think is the way you have to approach this battle, knowing that AdmiralPrice is coming after you. Just keep his cavalry at bay, because AdmiralPrice has actually lost quite a bit of cavalry. If you look at it, how much melee cavalry does he even have? He has 2 Yari cavalry over there, but they're both hurt. That might be it, actually. Besides the bow cavalry. But they won't do a whole lot, so keep that Yari Ashigaru and your cavalry in reserve. Just win the infantry battle with your own infantry. I think he can do it. Especially because the Naginatas went in first. They're already down to half strength. The Katanas will be able to beat them pretty handily, but he needs to get a good Nodachi charge off. One is moving up, the other's standing still. We'll see if he ends up doing it right when the bow's route would be a good time, and it looks like he's going to do it. Oh, I'm getting a frame rate issue. Oh, we're good. Nodachis, are they going to bonsai in time? They aren't even going to get the charge, they're just going to be running. Oh no! Doesn't get the good charge. That's unfortunate. That would have been huge. If you could have smashed into that Katana Samurai with the big charge, could have taken out half that unit in one shot. This is going to be a close battle, folks. I keep saying, every match is better than the last, and this one is a good one. The 1 Yari Cavalry is, oh, they're going to make it. The Matchlock's just shot, they're going to be able to reload in time, and the Nodachis and the Katana there are just going to get hammered by that Yari Cavalry charge to the rear. He does have rally and stand and fight up, so he is going to be able to stand momentarily. The cavalry is pulling off to tie down the Matchlock Samurai. Decent decision there. We're hearing another war cry down here on the right flank. Doing an okay job of standing and fighting. He's got a nice shot into the exposed Naginata monks here. Might be able to take a few of them down to 40 men. It looks like he's going to end up winning this grind fight in the melee. AdmiralPrice doing a good job there. Unfortunately, it's more of a micro mistake on Papercut Assassin's part, not getting those good Nodachi charges off. If he would have gotten those charges off, AdmiralPrice would have been in huge trouble, having very little cavalry to turn this around. Just keep his Yari Ashigaru in the rear to defend against the cavalry. I think he could have taken this one, but it looks like it's going AdmiralPrice's way right now. Ooh, the Matchlock shooting into the cavalry there and hitting a few of his own general. Looks like the Matchlock's shooting the general too, trying to get the general race aspect to pull this battle in his favor, but I don't think he has enough time, and the numbers are definitely in AdmiralPrice's favor. Even with that morale shock from the general, I don't think that's going to be enough, even if he does kill the general here. So yes, he is turning and shooting in the melee line. Maybe a better decision. Katana Samurai, oh, Nodachi is going into the general. Looks like they're going to get a charge off into this one. Maybe not great because they're all loose, but it will be, yeah, see, they kind of stop once they make contact, so when you get in that loose formation, you don't get as good a charge off, but they do get a decent one, down to 19 men, and the Matchlocks do not have a good firing angle, so but it's not going to be enough. Papercut Assassin's lines are finally starting to break, and he just doesn't have enough. It's unfortunate. He kind of had I think he had a melee advantage, even with the Naginata monks. Those Nodachis could have been huge. It's unfortunate they didn't get that charge off into the melee line. I think that was the one mistake that really cost him. Also moving the Yari Ashigaru up to the front, but that's more for post-match commentary. Let's just take a look at what's going on now. The general's in the stand and fight down to 12 men. There's just not enough. He's swarming the Matchlocks, maybe thinking the morale shock is the only thing he wants to guard against right now. Naginata monks are cleaning up the general as well. He will be routing momentarily. Matchlock Samurai, of course, wavering. Sometimes they choose the weirdest times to rout, but Katana Samurai here should be able to beat them. Nope, he's going to rout though. There's the end of the battle. All of the units are routed, so see you back on the main menu for post-match commentary. Alright, well, congratulations to AdmiralPrice for taking Game 1 of the series on his home turf. I think that actually AdmiralPrice got a little flustered in that attack. His micro seemed to be a little off with the cavalry, and before you knew it, his huge cavalry component was just almost gone. I think Papercut Assassin had a pretty good, solid defense there to sort of pull the battle in his favor, but it all came down to those charges and where he committed his infantry. Threw away his spears too early. I really needed those to maybe fend off the cavalry. If he could have had a solid spear wall up behind that infantry attack and gotten a big charge off from the Nodachis, I think that easily could have went in his favor. So I think it was a good match by both players. A few mistakes on both sides, but ended up being pretty entertaining, and two good players. I'm definitely looking forward to match number 2. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody.